Hello everyone, welcome to our Trade Talk show. While it's been March Madness in the NFL, trades have been a little bit slower in our leagues, but we've had about a dozen in the last month or so. So let's get down and let's look at some of them. First of all, we've got Stone Roses gave up Ramondre Stevenson, and the Bad Company gave up this year's 203. Now, I think at first look, this looks like a slight overpayment. However, Stevenson flashed potential last season, and if he takes over the backfield at New England, it's going to be a bargain and a steal. An injury to Damien Harris, Stevenson becomes the RB1 there, does well. Sky's the limit. Next trade, Stone Roses again, gave up Justin Fields and this year's 101. ZZ Top gave up Trevor Lawrence and this year's 105. Now a little bit of insight here. Stone Roses is a Jacksonville fan and ZZ Top is a Chicago fan. So this deal works out great for both of them. It could be what you call a homer trade. But the 101, you're not going to get a better potential than Trevor Lawrence. Sure, he might have had a down year, but what was around him at Jacksonville was absolute trash. He was thrown to Treadwell, Agnew, Visca Chenault, who we won't even go there at this point yet. So yeah, the 101 for Trevor Lawrence seems fair enough. And I think the 105 for Justin Fields seems fair enough. With those picks, you're looking at Breece Hall, maybe Malik Willis at the 101. At the 105, you're maybe looking at Kenneth Walker, Drake London, Garrett Wilson, something like that. So, yeah, I think fair enough. This next trade, still in the same league, we've got Wu-Tang Clan giving up Najee Harris and George Kittle. Rush 2112 give up Justin Herbert and this year's 112. Now I know this must have been a tough trade for Wu-Tang, giving up Najee, being a Pittsburgh homer himself. But I like it. I like it. You've got Justin Herbert, QB3, possibly even the QB2, depending on how far you judge Mahomes' slide. Picking up the 112 as well. Now you're going to get a decent quality wide receiver there. You're looking at maybe George Pickens, Chris Olave might fall down there. You might get some of the tier 2 quarterbacks, but if you've got Justin Herbert, I wouldn't think you're looking at that kind of thing. Giving up George Kittle, tight end premium, always tough, but how is Kittle going to fare in San Francisco if it's Trey Lance at quarterback? And he's advancing years. And last season, while he flashed, he also had a lot of, bagel type performances almost. So yeah, I think it's a good trade. I myself would prefer the quarterback. Anytime you can get your franchise quarterback, 10 years? Happy days. Next trade, again involves Rush 212, and this time with Bad Company. Rush 2112 gives up this year's 206 and this year's 412. Bad Company gave up Devin Singletary. Now, Singletary at the end of last season certainly flashed. I think he was the RB2 in the playoffs, so could have won somebody a championship. 206, it's not a huge price to pay. You're not going to get a running back at 206. Not a starting running back anyway. The 412, I don't even know what the hell that's doing there. Throw it in the bin. So yeah, 206 Devin Singletary. I've not got a problem with that either way. Next trade, we've got the Stone Roses giving up Michael Carter and Elijah Mitchell, picking up this year's 103, 202 and the 2024 second. Now, this is myself. I sold Carter and Mitchell. I like both of them. I don't like either of them as high as the 103, obviously, but I like both of them a lot higher than the 202. I mean, again, you're not going to get an Elijah Mitchell or a Michael Carter at 202. You just not. Don't fool yourself. You're not. So yeah, you're probably averaging both of those picks as being around about 108, 109, maybe 110 at a push, but I don't think I would sell Carter or Mitchell for 110. No, not having it. So yeah, I think the picks balance out, and I think the 2024 second is just so far away that it might possibly be in bad company's favour. Two good run young backs he's got, hopefully there for 3-4 seasons. Okay, going on to the next league, and we've got Walker Texas Ranger giving up Calvin Ridley in this year's 101. Sanford and Son giving up this year's 110 and a 2023 first. Now, those of you that know me, indeed, the whole world knows, those 2023 firsts are gold. Should be treated like gold as well. Been banging on about this for about 14 months. Get those 2023 firsts. But the whole world knows the value now. So you're not going to get them cheap. Giving up the 101, my God, that must have hurt. But the 110, again, you're either going to get one of those tier 2 quarterbacks, or you're going to get a good quality wide receiver. Sanford acquired Calvin Ridley. God knows what's happening there. But it's a relatively small part of this trade, I think. And he's getting the 101. He's getting Malik Willis or Breece Hall in a 14-team league. The value of quarterback is far more important than the value of a 12-team. I know this is a 14-team league, obviously. So yeah, bearing that in mind, I'm probably slightly favouring the 101 if it's Malik Willis. Next trade, we've got Beaver giving up Derrick Henry and Mitch Buchanan giving up the 2023 first and a 2023 second. This is a fair trade all the way along. Derrick Henry, he's the RB2 in redraft, but the advance in age, the age cliff is there. 1 year, 2 years maybe. I don't know the value of those first and second picks from Mitch Buchanan, but even if they're late, they're still going to be reasonable quality. If they're mid, you're getting a star player. If they're early, you've hit the jackpot. Good trade for both sides, can't complain. Finally in this league, we've got Al Bundy giving up Jimmy Garoppolo and DJ Moore in this year's 111. Walker Texas Ranger giving up Justin Fields in this year's 206. Now again, I will stress this is a 14-team league, so the difference between that 111 and 206 is a lot more. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 10 picks. That's quite a difference. Justin Fields, the hype is there, the talent is there, the potential is there, the ceiling is high. However, the floor, But on the other side, we've got DJ Moore, underrated wide receiver, undervalued, but God knows what the quarterback situation in Carolina is. And then we've got Jimmy Garoppolo himself. I'm lost for words. I don't know how to value him. It looks like he might be returning to San Francisco, at least for the first few games. Trey Lance situations up in the air. So that's that league finished. Some interesting trades there. Okay, this next trade had Earthworm Jim giving up Tua Tagovailoa, David Montgomery, Chase Claypool, Kadarius Toney, and a 2023 first round pick. Shinobi gave up Kyler Murray, Derrick Henry, Robert Woods, and this year's 404. Okay, obviously one team rebuilding and the other team going for the title. The 404, get that the fuck in the bin. Robert Woods, new team, don't know how it's going to do. Been great at LA, but he's 30-year-old wide receiver. Good time to sell him. Derrick Henry, again we talked about it earlier. 28 years now. He's past that cliff, but he's still doing it. And Kyler Murray, one of the top young quarterbacks, but Tua, I mean that could almost be a match. If Tua performs now that he's got Waddle and Tyreek Hill, he could be just as good as Kyler. We've got Derrick Henry and David Montgomery. Again, Derrick Henry, RB2 in redraft. In Dynasty, they're probably both around early teens, running back 14, 15, 16 sort of thing. So basically, that's a scratch as well. So I think Shinobi gets Claypool and the first for almost nothing. Good work. This next trade, different league again. Menace to Society gives up Mac Jones and Kyle Pitts. The Italian Job gives up Dak Prescott and Albert O. I think we're happy with that. Okay, now this looks like it's a massive win for the Kyle Pitts side. However, while I do advocate tearing down at quarterback, Dak is in that last group of 7 or 8 guys. What have you got? Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, Deshaun Watson, and Dak. After that, there's a sharp fall to the QB9. Sharp fall. I think Mac Jones is another tier, 2 tiers behind that. So the drop off at quarterback is massive. However, it's Kyle friggin' Pitts, man, you know? And everyone knows. This time last year, I was telling everyone, get Kyle Pitts if you can. 12 months later, best rookie performance ever at the position, breaking every record. The only thing that wasn't there was the touchdowns. So you're telling me he's not going to score more than 2 touchdowns in 2022? Again, get the fuck out of here. Albert O. Now, I've liked him for a while. I've always seen the potential. And the Denver front office are telling us that they're happy for Noah Fant to go to Seattle. So that should be telling all of us that it's an Albert O breakout here. How big a breakout? Only time will tell. So yeah, it's another one. It looks like one side won, but in time it's probably a lot more equal than we think. Okay guys, we're whittling through these. 2 more to go. This next one, in the Cartoon League, we've got Dave Dastardly giving up the 210 and Magilla Gorilla giving up Laviska Shenault. Now, I've been saying for about the last 2 or 3 months, Visca is a bust. But with the talk of a trade, apparently the Chiefs heavily interested, but anywhere, fresh pastures could be a new beginning for him. And the value might really be around about 202, 203, 204. At the moment, I don't think he's worth a 210. I don't even think he's worth a fucking 310. But I'm taking a gamble here that a new team, new coaching staff, might get the best out of him. I think 210 is probably an overpayment at the moment, but I'm hoping for the best. 210 this year is a decent wide receiver again, maybe even a decent tight end, maybe even one of these Ranger running backs that are an injury away from being the guy. So I lost this trade by a mile, but we'll see. Finally, in the Beers League, Terence Lager gives up Eno Benjamin. This year's 107 and this year's 307. Frankie and Louise give up AJ Dillon and DeAndre Hopkins. Now again, those that know me know that I do not like buying old players unless it's really cheap. AJ Dillon, I believe, has to wait one more year. 2023 will be his year. But he's not worth the 107. 112, 201 maybe, perhaps. So that gives us DeAndre Hopkins. Would anybody pay a first for DeAndre Hopkins? If they do, come and buy him off me right now. Come and buy him. I'll take the 112. I'll take the 113. Okay? Personally, I mean, I think this first part of this deal was the 207, and I was reluctant past part of the 207 because I parted with the 107 for Dillon. That would have meant both at around the 112. And as I say, if you give me the 112 for a nuke, I'm taking it. I'm not even sending a counter. I'm taking it. So I think this was quite fair, actually. The 107 is going to be Drake London, Garrett Wilson, Isaiah Spiller, who's been falling there in our mocks lately. So that's a nice pick there that McGill has picked up. Anyway, thanks for watching this. Hope I didn't bore you all to death. That's all the trades. So send me some of the trades from your other leagues. Doesn't have to be ghost leagues. We can have a look at them. Hopefully we can give you some praise for winning trades. Hopefully we can tell people where they're going wrong. But going back to one of the earlier trades with Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence involving a Jacksonville and Chicago fan. At the end of the day, fantasy football is about fun. Enjoy it. It's not a win at all costs. It's about fun. It's about entertainment. Bit of joy, bit of laughter with your league mates. Bit of camaraderie. I know you're all in America, so you've never heard of Danny Cadamatari. He played for Everton. Camaraderie. Camaraderie? Somebody tell me how to say that word properly. Anyway, we'll see you all next week. Bye now.